Hi, and I hope you all enjoy your holidays. I had a funny moment the other night. I was going through my night table drawer, which is basically a graveyard of old industry magazines, and I came across a copy of what's now the defunct New York Diamond magazine from March 2023, 23 years ago. I think it's coming out backwards on the camera, but the cover says, Strike Up the Brands. Strike Up the Brands. That was 23 years ago, and it brought me right back to that moment. There was this belief at the time, almost a frenzy, that if you could just cut a diamond a little differently, give it a name, maybe a logo, you could create the next great diamond brand and command a premium. I think there were like 100 different diamond brands at that time. Amongst the many tries were things called the Duchess, the Biro 88, the Queen cut, the Empress cut. I'm not picking on anyone in particular. At the time, it sounded like a good idea. I'm sure nobody remembers any of those four that I just said, but here's the reality. If you were to ask any of your non-industry friends to name a diamond brand, I'll bet you that the answers you're going to get sound something like Tiffany, Cartier, Van Cleef, Graf, Winston, maybe Chopard. And here's the key point about that. Those are not really diamond brands. Those are retail jewelry brands. They branded the store, the experience, that blue box. The diamond itself, that remained basically unbranded. So it begs the question, is there such a thing as a real diamond brand to the consuming public at large? I would argue yes, but it's not what maybe you think. The most recognized diamond brand in the world, in my opinion, is the Gemological Institute of America, the GIA. Think about how consumers actually speak. They don't say, I just bought a Biro 88 or an Empress cut. They say, it's a GIA diamond. Now, technically, that's not even correct, as we know. GIA doesn't sell diamonds. GIA doesn't own inventory. GIA doesn't advertise romance or forever or any of the things that we associate with our business. So why do consumers say it? Because the GIA owns something far more powerful than branding of a diamond. They own credibility, they own authority, they own trust. And in a world where the consumer is more confused than ever, natural, lab-grown, synthetic, this report, this claim, that trust is very valuable. It's actually everything. So in my opinion, as you know from previous posts, the GIA recently made a very, very smart move by stepping away from the traditional grading of synthetics and repositioning how they deal with them. They've started to reassert something that frankly needed to be reasserted. A GIA report means something, and here's what I think we as an industry and the GIA itself has a tremendous opportunity. Not in a commercial way, not in a promotional way, but the GIA needs to once again be speaking directly to the consumer. They did that many years ago. They need to speak in a clear, educational, unmistakable way. Because imagine a world where when a consumer says, my diamond has a GIA report, what they really mean and what everybody will understand is, my diamond is natural. That becomes a signal, a quiet signal, but a very powerful one, a kind of virtual signaling, if you will. And think about what that does. It doesn't attack synthetics. It simply elevates clarity and signals to people that you are a discerning consumer who values what is real, what is natural. A name they always and they already trust will now carry even more meaning. Because at the end of the day, you can create all the names you want. You can design all of the cuts that you want. You can try to manufacture a brand, and some will do it with varying degrees of success. But in this business, you don't generally brand the diamond. You earn the trust around it. And if that's true, then maybe, just maybe, the most important diamond brand that we have is the one that actually never tried to be a diamond brand in the first place, the GIA. Think about it. Have a great day.